What's going on, everyone? You're back with your boy Jono for another quick math lesson. Today we're going to find out how to find an unknown side length when we are given the perimeter before we start the question. So in this lesson, we're kind of working backwards. We've been given the answer and we've just got to work out what was the correct question in order to get to that end result. The best thing for us is that we've done a lot of the skills that we need to do already this year. As long as you're talking about equations and algebraic techniques, if you're on top of those, you're going to find this incredibly easy. But the only difference is for this, you have to write the question, not the other way around. To get these right, you need to go slow to make sure we know exactly what we're trying to find out. We need to give the unknown a letter. So we're making an algebraic equation. So we've got an X or Y, doesn't matter, but you have to put an unknown in. And from there, you need an equal sign to the perimeter. If you've got all those things, it will make a lot of sense. My big pro tip for this is please look out for identical side lengths. So when we're looking at squares or triangles or anything like that, if you've got two side lengths that are going to be exactly the same, just take a mental note of it before you get going. So we're going to have a look at this question. First, we've got a triangle that we know the perimeter is 59 centimeters for a fact. So we have to write an algebraic equation in order to get that right. So I'm going to put my unknown first. That's what I always like to do. So then I've got x plus 14 plus 32 equals 59. So now I've got everything in there. I've got the side lengths that I do know. I've got my unknown and it's equal to the total perimeter. From here, I want you to add together the two distances we do know. So that's x plus 46 is equal to 59. From here, I have to minus 46 from both sides. So my x is equal to 13 centimeters. Remember, still got to put the units in at the very end. If you can do that, that's really all this lesson is. So for this one, I've got a trapezium and I need to find B, or the base length, and the perimeter is 147 centimeters in total, definitely. So for this one, all I have to do is make sure I put down the side lengths that I know with the unknown equaling to that perimeter. So because I've got two sides that are identical, that 45 is on both sides, I've got to make sure I account for it in my calculations. So that makes this B plus 15 plus 45 plus 45. There are two 45s and that's equal to 147. Again, I'm going to add together the numbers that I do know. So that means B plus 105 is equal to 147. Minus the 105 from both sides and I get my final answer of B is 42 centimeters. And that's all you've got to do. So again, just writing down exactly what we know and then solving the equation using these multiple steps will get you full marks. We're just going to do a couple of two-step examples here. The maths is not that much harder, but we do have to remember to go slow and do multiple steps in our working out. The only pro tip that we really need for this is when we add like terms, so a plus a, we get 2a, not a squared. I always think about it like apples. If you have one apple plus another apple, you then have two apples, not one apple squared. So in this rectangle, we know that both sides are in pairs. So I've got h on one side and the other. They're both the length h. And then I've got 4 up the top and 4 at the bottom. And I know the perimeter is equal to 11. So I have to do h plus h, because there's two of them, plus 4 equals 11. Now I've got to put my h's together. I've got to add those like terms. So I have 2h plus 8 is equal to 11. This is now a two-step equation. I'm minusing the 8 from both sides, so I'm left with 2h is equal to 3. And then I've got 2 times h, so I have to divide by 2 on both sides, which means that h is equal to 1.5. Again, you have to use your units, so this is 1.5 centimeters. For this last triangle, we've got two side lengths that are exactly the same, or L, and then I've got a base of 12, and I know that the perimeter is equal to 25. So this time, instead of writing L plus L, I'm just going to go straight to 2L plus 12 is equal to 25. And now I just have to solve this in the exact same way. I minus 12 from both sides, so I've got 2L is equal to 13. And then I divide by 2 from both sides, so I've got L by itself, and that's equal to 6.5 meters, and we are done. So I know that this lesson is a bit of an extension on our perimeter task, and really we're not even doing shapes anymore. This is just algebra and equations. But you will see throughout maths that these are incredibly closely linked. A lot of maths comes together and makes you kind of use these things out of area in order to get questions right. If you're on top of this, I guarantee that you're going to find shapes and two-step equations pretty cruisy for the rest of your maths career. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.